welcome to Rancu Productions presentation of You Don't Know If You Don't Go. Today we're going to cover search pattern presentations specializing in finesse fishing. For those of you that already know how to lindy rig, this may or may not have something for you, but for those of you that are interested in learning how to lindy rig and to put all the key items together, this one's for you. With us today is Rancu Productions associate Lauren Shumway, and what we would like to do today is to show people how to set up and to execute a lindy rig, give themselves a chance to catch some fish. So say hello, Lauren.
Thanks, Randy. I'm looking forward to this. I've never fished with a lindy rig for walleye, and I'm looking forward to the experience.
It's about 82 degrees today, Lake Minnetonka, Hennepin County. There's a ton of boats on the water. Cold front passed yesterday afternoon. Conditions aren't exactly that great for putting fish in the boat, but we're going to go and cover some technique today and hopefully get Lauren up to speed on the triggers that work and let you guys see the triggers that work. So here we go, keep rolling. This, boys and girls, is the lindy rig setup. What we have is a lindy walker, although this one's painted and has a special eyelet in it. Okay, and a barrel swivel, a hook, and some stuff that looks like eggs on there. Okay, the way you set it up is you put your lindy on your line, you tie a barrel swivel to it, and then you tie what's called a snell, which is just basically a long lead. And what this does is this weight takes the line down, and the length of your snell allows your bait to swim in the water somewhat. Now, some people use 1.5 feet, some people use as far as out to 12 feet. When you get that long leader going, you kind of have to have two people to net a fish, because you got 12 feet of line between your weight or the end of the rod and the water. So that gets a little complicated when you have those longer leaders, but depending on what you like to use, the lag time between when you set your weight down on the bottom and when the leech or crawler or minnow, whatever you have on as live bait, the longer lead you put on there, the more lag time that you have, and you can manipulate your swimming motion along the bottom. But that's what it's designed to do. This takes your line down, and it stops when it hits the barrel swivel, and your line is connected to the barrel swivel so that you don't develop any twist in your line as you're going. So this is a little something that I like to use, a chartreuse hook number 8. You can see it's very tiny, very, very tiny, so that the fish doesn't feel it but focuses more on the bait that you're using. It's 82 degrees today, and there's a lot of boat traffic out here on Lake Minnetonka. So given that those temperatures are what they are, we'll be using leeches today, and we'll be moving at a slower speed. So we'll show those to you in a little bit.
Is there any special ways to hook the leech?
Well, if you can get that, you can see the sucker. He's being real nice and showing his mouth. You want to hook him in the sucker out through the back, little tiny number 8 hook, and That'll help
put that on silent.
Yeah. Right out the back like that, through the mouth and out the back. That way he can swim with the other end. And you can manipulate the action of it when you put it in the water. Keep in mind that it's your thumb that regulates the action of the free spool and prevents backlash. Okay, at the same time, you can lift your thumb to allow more line out there so that you can feel bottom while you're working your rig. First thing you do is to drop your weight down and feel bottom relative to the speed of the boat. Okay, then you drop your rod tip back very slowly with it on the bottom to set up the activator. And the first thing that you do is to activate the fish's awareness that you're there and that there's bait presence, is pick it up and sweep it forward. That swims whatever bait you have, be it a leech, a minnow, or a worm on there, spinner, what have you, and that gets the fish's attention. And as you get forward, you set it back on the bottom again. Okay, what this does is this prevents you from dragging it through the bottom, thereby stirring up a bunch of stuff and spooking the bite. They can't see it after you've got it floating in mud. Okay, the second thing that you do is repeat it. Okay, drag your rod tip back with it on the bottom with your thumb allowing for the free spool. Okay, that is the trigger. When you drop the rod back, that allows your bait to settle and swim naturally and fall to the bottom with whatever kind of apparatus you have. That is where the fish takes your bait. Okay, so when you pick it up the next time and the fish has got it, you'll feel something. And there we get into the take. So it's a rod sweep. You set it down, you drop it back, okay, it's on the bottom, you pick it up off the bottom, holding it with your thumb, you swim it forward, and you set it back down on the bottom again. That's the action of the Lindy rig. You do it a bazillion times, and the trigger happens when you drop the rod tip back. That's the show. Thanks for joining us. Be with us next time on You Don't Know If You Don't Go.